With Elon Musk and SpaceX planning on their visit to Mars in the very near future, I've got news for them. In 2021, I was on Mars, or rather, I was on Mars 2 Mono Planet, because that was my first reiteration of a Mars printer by Elegoo. Now, since 2019, Elegoo released a Mars version every year, culminating in the one we're reviewing today, the Mars 5 Ultra. The Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra arrived swaddled, protected in cardboard and cellophane. Plastic film covered the screens and more delicate areas, and it arrived in the same condition it left the factory, which is always a relief. My back was happy that it was not hard to lift into place, weighing in at just under 11 kilograms boxed. The embossed separate dark grey lid, once unwrapped, turns out to be a lift-on, lift-off affair. I'm so used to the up and over lids that most modern printers support that this lid takes me back again nostalgically to my Mars 2 Mono and Saturn printers. It also reminds me of just how bloody covered in resin they became in no time at all when sticky fingers touch lid, so printing a handle is definitely high on the to-do list. Desktop real estate needed is slight, the dimensions being 260 by 268 by 451mm. Underneath the printer, 4 rubber adjustable feet can be found to adjust the height of your printer accordingly. The right side of the printer is where you'll find all the gubbins, power on off switch USB connection and the Wi-Fi aerial connector all sit in a neat little line and are thankfully easily accessible. The transformer is external in the Mars 5 Ultra, so a small brick is also included. The printer comes fully assembled. You only need to remove the screen protectors from the screen and the VAT, screw in the VAT and build plate, and you're ready to start your Elegoo printing journey. The self-levelling, yes, you heard me right, the self-levelling build plate is a double-decker affair measuring in at 153 x 77 with its laser-etched surface promoting resin adherence. Unfortunately, the inner upper surface also encourages resin adherence, but not in a good way. No twiddly knob needed to attach this to the single rail Z arm. It easily connects with a compression lever. The shape of the upper part of the build plate where you lift it off, in my opinion, is poorly designed, and I can see this slipping from a resin sloppy hand and falling into the vat easily. Note to self greedy, be careful lifting this out. The high-sided metal resin vat returns us to the twiddly removable knobs of old. Now personally, I don't like knobs on vats. I prefer the quick release options like the original Ultracross Reflex or the GK3 series from Uniformation. These knobs can attract resin drips and weld to the unit if not careful. Although on their website it lists them as resin clog free, whatever that means. I'd assume the messy build plate design makes this more of a risk, not less, so just be careful. I'm happy to see 2 very functional pouring spouts for easy emptying of resin though. And now the printer comes with a bib. Sorry, a drip tray. This shows me that Elegoo know it can be a drip fest and you really don't want to be getting resin into the internal gubbins or the screw holes, so it's a must, but again another additional thing to do post-print. Below the vat sits the 7-inch mono LCD screen with a 9K ultra high resolution, giving an 18 micron XY resolution. Elegoo boasts 92% light uniformity via an advanced cob light source. The LCD screen is safeguarded by a tempered glass protector, providing resistance to scratches and damage from unwanted drips or FEP leaks. Now, what makes this printer very interesting is the resin vat tilt function. Instead of pulling the printer from the FEP like normal resin 3D printers, the Mars 5 Ultra's vat remains stationary and the vat actually tilts or pivots. This mechanical action peels and cures the resin from the FEP, and this action can allegedly reduce the peeling forces. Those forces are the enemy of successful prints and can cause havoc if too high, causing some of the failures we see when you return to your print hours later, only to find that cured resin is stuck to the vat on the FEP instead of the build plate. This tilting not only reduces these forces by default, it allows for faster printing speeds too, which Elegoo claim are up to 150mm per hour. It's good to see that every time you boot up the machine, you get a device self-test where the machine will go through various tests to make sure that everything is running optimally. The first thing when you boot up as well, you can pop your Wi-Fi details in. Now, the only problem I had was the screen is very small and the keyboard is even smaller, so it was difficult to get the right letters and numbers in for the password. I suggest using a stylus or something like that because it was difficult to use my finger. It's possible, but it took a few attempts to get it in. Once I'd done that, the Wi-Fi connected beautifully. It worked straight out of the box, so to speak, and I then was prompted to upgrade the system to the latest firmware. Upgrading the firmware was a simple, quick and easy solution, and the machine then rebooted itself back up and I was ready to start the 3D printing process. Now this portrait screen is clear and crisp, and once you use it through a printing process or settings, etc., the icons are much larger, very responsive and easy to use. You don't use the keyboard very often, so I can overlook the fact that that was a bit difficult. The general printing process on this screen is easy and simple. On the USB thumb drive that's included with the machine, Elegoo have left a sample chess rook piece that's designed to make sure that everything is running okay, and it's a great print and one I always print with my Elegoo machines. It was then I remembered that the Mars 5 Ultra has one serious omission. There's no built-in heater. Now here in the UK, where temperatures at this time of year fall well below zero and fail to climb to any more than single figures, and I'm printing in a glorified summer house outside, the risk of print failure due to sluggish, cold, thick resin is a serious possibility. Now Elegoo do offer a solution to this of sorts in its mini heater. These are designed specifically for the Elegoo printers. It's a small plastic heater unit that you fit to the back of your machine. You get 2 extra filters with it. There's also one inside. A little template that fits to the back of your printer in place of the one that you've seen there. That's the standard size for vents. And once it's all connected together, which is easy, you literally just plug it in, turn it on, and the little fan heater bursts into life. Now this will heat the inside air of your chamber of the printer up into 25 degrees. The problem is it doesn't actually heat the resin, and it's the resin that needs to be warm for it to print efficiently. Now through diffusion, I'm sure the resin will heat eventually, but initially you may get problems, so it may be very necessary to heat that resin, maybe soaking it in some warm water before you put it in your printer. So my first piece, the test piece, the Rook, has printed. Initial inspection shows that everything has gone accordingly and it all looks good on the surface. We need to get it off the build plate, and a quick flick with the metal spatula that accompanies the printer will get it off, and this is it close up. It has printed wonderfully. You're clear, it's concise, the detailing is there, there's no layer lines, it is smooth, it has followed the pattern of the print and everything is exactly as it should be. A successful first print on the Mars 5 Ultra. So next for something a little bit more complicated, this is the Green Goblin file by HAL Studios, and I'm going to slice this on Chitubox Pro. I'm going to be using the Elegoo water washable for it at a 2.5 seconds exposure time. Now talking about the Chitubox Pro, with the printer you get 3 months paid subscription to the Pro membership, which I think is an excellent addition. I put the file on a USB stick and put it into the printer and press print to receive this warning telling me that I'd exceeded the maximum limit of resin and the printing had stopped. And on visual inspection I had indeed put too much resin into the vat. So this warning, this setting, this sensor has saved me from having one hell of a messy printer and print station. Thank you Elegoo, an excellent addition. The Mars 5 Ultra sports a camera, an AI camera at that, and this will allow you to monitor your prints on the fly, and it will also look out for empty build plates or any warp detection. Plus you can make your time lapses to your heart's content. The other thing it will help you with is if there's anything left on your build plate, any residue, it will stop it from damaging your FEP. It will also have an overheat protection, so no overheating for this printer. Plus finally a power loss resume feature. When I returned to the print, I noticed that part of the print had completely failed to print. Here should have been a base to the Goblin, but nothing happened. If we look close to bed adherence, you can see a little bit of lifting already occurring at the join there. I suspect this is down to cold temperatures of the resin again, and I knew this was going to get a bit messy, so this is where the bib that they supply you with, the tray, comes in real handy. I ran a tank clean program and tried to firstly pull the piece of cured resin out with a little tool, but that failed, so the next part was definitely going to get messier. Now if you notice, I spilt a little bit on the way through, and the tray, the bib, did its job amply. This is a problem you're going to get with 3D printers, and again I reiterate, I think this is down to the cold temperatures in the man cave that's doing this. The vat was taken off and I emptied the vat into the bottle, again using one of those spouts on one side of the vat, which came in particularly handy. And there you can see now the problem. There is the part that's left on the FEP with the actual tray clean cycle that I ran through. Peel all of that off, and I'm going to give it a clean with some soft blue roll, and just to get the rest of the resin off there, I'm using a little bit of IPA and giving it a wipe over, ready for the next bout to try again. This time I'm going to warm the resin, as I spoke about earlier just before I put it in there. The perils of an in-case heater, I believe. I am pretty confident it's related to temperature, but I'm also going to try a different resin. I'm going to try the Elegoo ABS Pro and just see if that makes any difference whatsoever. So Greedy's tip for the day is to warm your resin in warm water, give it a shake and warm again. Temperatures in the UK have been particularly cold lately, and I've put this now warm resin into the machine, ran through the print, and everything has printed beautifully. The heater has done its job and kept everything warm. That little bit of help just at the start has, I believe, helped with this final successful print of the Green Goblin by Hell Studios. It's come out beautifully. Now, of course, if your resin's already in the vat, then the hot water method isn't going to work. Well, that's okay. Just take a hairdryer, put it on a gentle heat, and warm the resin through for a couple of minutes just before you use it. This will take the cold off it, make it a little bit less viscous, and then the in-case heater can keep it nice and toasty. Now, to allow you to dial your resins in, the Mars 5 Ultra is capable of RERF, which the uninitiated means Resin Exposure Rangefinder. This feature allows the LCD screen to alter the time each section of the screen, either in 4, 6 or 8 segments, exposes the resin to UV light. This will save you from printing separate resin exposure tests to best dial in your resin and do it just in one print. An excellent idea that I know companies like Uniformation are adopting. Now, rather than me trying to reinvent the wheel, Ross over at Faux Hammer has made an awesome video which looks at RERF in depth, and I'll share a link to his video in the item description. Make sure you go and check it out. Now, one thing we haven't touched on as yet is the build volume, which is 153 by 77 by 165. This is a perfect size to print the smaller models, especially if you're into tabletop gaming, things like Warhammer or the very small miniatures. This is a perfect way to print those in high quality and decent speeds. So now I've had time to play with the Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra. What do I think? Well, it's definitely top of its game in the roughly 7-inch build plate category. It's got a 9K high resolution screen and advanced features that make it a very worthy choice. The tilting VAT, the AI camera, the intuitive UI, they make it a pleasure to use. The only drawback is no built-in heater, which depending on where you print could be a game changer. Now, there are ways around this, as you've seen. If you're printing in an environment that's cold, the external heater is an absolute must, but the additional step of warming pre-print is not a step too far for me. I'm quite happy to do that to get the results that I'm getting with the Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra. Now, when you want excellent stability, when you want quality, when you want speed, this is a wonderful printer to buy. And if you're into war gaming, if you're into the smaller models, then this is definitely something to consider. Now, large prints, of course, are not particularly viable due to the build volume. But again, if you're into that tabletop stuff, this is a moot point for you because it's going to work and do its magic. Now, at the price bracket too of under £300, it makes it a very appealing 3D printer indeed. Now, if you like what you see today on Greedy 3D, please subscribe to the channel. It's quick, It's simple, it's easy, one little click will do it and you'll be a member of the family. If you want to join the Patreon, again, one little click and you're in there. It can be as little as nothing to a couple of quid a month, and I'll put all the details down below for you. Let me know what you think of the Mars 5 Ultra. Let me know what you think about the heating situation. Is it a problem for you or not? It is a wonderful machine, and thank you, Elegoo. You did send me this for review, and I want to thank you for that. And I will see you guys next time on Greedy 3D.